I wanted to just add this to the LIE versus ILE kind of conversation. Just having this sort of thought on kind of a 19th century explorers club type of thing. This is sort of like clubs for high status people in society back in, let's say, in Britain, who were educated people, gentlemen, scholars, distinguished people, where they would kind of come together and kind of hang out, a members only kind of thing. And it could look like a very NT kind of gathering where you have individuals who are there because they're medical experts who have done good things in the medical world, or you have people who are literal explorers going into Africa and India and other places like this, and they've become famous for their exploits. Um, you could have individuals who were biologists or zoologists or botanists, whatever, right? Um, and you have these different people all kind of mingling and sharing ideas and having a brandy and a cigar. And if you pictured that kind of room and environment, you could imagine that you might find a fair number of NTs in there. Not all of them are going to be NTs. You're going to have other types in there as well who've done things. Okay. But for the sake of this idea, let's envision this kind of room where you have all these intellectual types sitting around. You may find that, again, you're going to have ILEs and LIIs and so on. And these might be, again, your academics who figured out a new taxidermy, a new taxonomy on different biological creatures and so on. There might be some individuals there who were figuring out some new astronomical thing, a new mathematics to it, or something like that. Um, People doing a lot of research in microscopy and looking at cells and something like this, right? And this is probably where you'll find a lot of the nerdy LIIs and ILEs and so on. And then right next to them, you might see some of your LIEs who might be somebody who started some kind of a big business. They have a lot of money that they created in there. You might have some who were pioneering surgeons or something like that and working in that world. You might have a few who became explorers, and they were the type who went down the deep parts of Africa looking for things and whatever. Um, and that might be their claim to fame. You might even have somebody in there who is a famous admiral who has his exploits in the Navy, and and whatever, people like that who are a little bit more on the side of men of action, let's call it. That if you're looking at the NTs as one group, the researchers and the NT club together, this is what they're kind of all doing. They're all sort of intellectualizing on their field, on their specialty, but their field and specialty that they are focused on um, can be a little different. Your NTJs and especially LIEs might be more of the man of action in a room full of NTs. I'm not talking about um, I'm not talking about bringing in SLEs and SLIs and LS and LSEs and stuff like that. Okay, if you had a room hypothetically where it was just nothing but NTs in there, out of the group, you probably see the LIEs as more like the men of action who are doing the exploring and so on, who might have been in the Admiralty, things like that, versus the ILE who was doing research on biology and cells or research in psychology areas, uh, something like that, let's say. right? You kind of see this, you're getting this archetypical vibe of somebody who's a little bit more physically in the world doing stuff versus somebody who's being a little more researched and academic in their approach, right? Again, these are kind of archetypes, stereotyping, but in general, it kind of works. Every now and again, it switches directions, and you'll see some LIE, NTJ type that is doing very academic stuff, researching linguistics and how people behave and communicate and so on, doing chemistry in an applied way. And every now and again, you'll see some ILEs who are out there like working, becoming businessmen and trying to pioneer something. You can see this with like the Elon Musk kind of debates. He's one that people are always arguing about. Is he an ILE? Is he an LIE? Is he an ILI? You know, right? He's one of those people who's kind of like crossed over, behaving like one type, but doing things, playing the role of a different type. Ultimately, it's still an NT. So anyway, that was just some more ideas, some more thoughts on distinguishing between these kind of types, ILEs and LIEs. Hopefully that helped and it didn't seem too much like a reductionistic archetype kind of conversation. But you probably will see it too when you look around and when you watch people in typology and stuff, you'll probably see that behavior between them, that behavior difference that I'm referring to. So yeah, hopefully that helps.